Good evening.
Good evening.
We're going to speak about few different topics because I know there's a mixed audience here and different levels, so I want to be able to interest every one of you. Just briefly, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I speak for 21 years about Judaism all over the world. And I have a very, very successful website. I have millions of views. Millions of views it has every year, and hundreds of thousands of views every week on my Facebook page. You know, sometimes it goes to almost 2 million a week. So there's a lot of traffic, because not because of me, because the subject is very, very interesting. All you have to know is how to present it. I always say, I'm not a good salesman, I'm just selling the best product in history. You don't need to be a good salesman when you have the best product. The customer will see what he gets, and even if you mute, he's going to still get it. Right? So our Torah that the Jewish people received about 3,300 years ago in a public event, if you learn a little bit of it, meaning maybe 20 hours, seriously, 20 hours you learn the foundations, you already know right away that this book can never be written by a human being. You know it right away. You see things in the Torah, you say only the creator of the world was able to write such a thing. From then on, it's a lot easier to connect with that. Because as long as a matter of faith, for instance, I give you an example. If you go to Christianity, you come to the church and you ask a question about something that is written in the New Testament. You ask the father, the priest, you tell him, do you really believe that this story really happened? So the answer would be, son, we have to believe, we are believers, it's a matter of faith. It's all about faith. Not that anything is wrong with faith, but it's only based on believing and faith. There's no proofs, no knowledge. The opposite. They admit, and I heard many, many times in conversation with them, that spiritual things cannot be proven scientifically. It's a matter of faith. You either believe in it or you don't believe in it. We are the believers. Same thing in Islam. In Islam, the same thing. They will tell you, you know, you have to believe. We believe in Allah. We'll die for Allah. We believe in Muhammad is prophet. We believe in the Quran. Believe. Strong belief. But do they have a proof that the Quran was given by God or the New Testament? The answer is absolutely not. The more you analyze their books, and unfortunately I had to become an expert in their religion because it always comes up, you find human errors, meaning you find things that are written in the books that you know for sure that part of the book God did not write, cannot be. For instance, it says in the New Testament that the cave of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is in a city of Shechem, Nablus. And everybody knows it's in the city of Hebron. It's always been there throughout history. There's hundreds of books discuss it. It's never moved from where it was in the time of Abraham. But in the New Testament, in Acts 7, it says that it's in the city of Shechem. It's like saying today the Twin Towers collapsed in Brooklyn. Is it a possibility that this book was given by God when it's written over there that the Twin Towers collapsed one day in Brooklyn? Any person that will read it in a book would still believe that this book came from God? Most likely not. So how come there's close to 1 billion or 2 billion people that follow it? One answer is, it's a very easy religion. There's not that much to do. So why not? To have holidays, gifts, a tree, family gathering together, you know, it's a way of life. Life without it for them is boring. That's one way. The second way, 99% of the Christians do not know what Christianity is. The same thing that 99% of the Jews do not know what Judaism is. And there's nothing special in the world. It's not like in Islam that most Muslims are connected with the Islam, and it doesn't matter how religious they are, they're connected with their religion on a daily basis. Unfortunately, most of the Jews in the world are totally ignorant in Judaism. They never read the Torah once in their life. I don't want to embarrass anyone here, but I promise you that if I will ask right now, besides the rabbi here, who read the Torah at least once in his life from the beginning to the end and just understand the literal meaning of the words? Forget about the secrets, the Gimatriot, the Midrashim, the Kabbalah parts of it. There's a lot of secrets involved here. Just the meaning, the translation of the verses. What does it mean when God say this? What does it mean when he speaks in a different way? What is the meaning of the words? What is the meaning of the 613 commandments that appear in the Torah? For every 100 Jews, if one would know and one would admit that he read the Torah once in his life, for me it would be a miracle. And I'm talking from 21 years of experience. I ask it in large audiences all the time, and even people that come and criticize the Torah, criticize religion, fight against all kinds of religion customs, when I come to the bottom line with them and I say, just be honest with me. Did you read the Torah once in your life from the beginning to the end, that you know at least what's going on in the most simple way, in first grade level? Did you read the Torah? The answer is, I read parts of it. I read when I was a kid. No, I have to admit I didn't read. But, I read this, and they begin to mumble and to stutter because they never read the Torah once in their life. And I always ask, if you never read the Torah once in your life, how do you dare to come and argue against it? It's one thing, you don't want to follow it. But how do you come to criticize something that I have no idea what it is? You see, when I come and I say something against a different religion, it's only after I checked very carefully that what I say is authentic. I don't come and just criticize them because I don't like them. No, that's not the case here. It's not about liking or disliking. It's about the truth. Who has the real divine truth? I come and say the only religion that was given from God is Judaism. And they come and say, true, but there's also another religion, it's Christianity. And the Muslims say, also Islam. How long does it take to disprove a religion, to know that it's not from God? Logically, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, you don't need to go to a college for that. All you have to do is find 1 or 2 human errors. And then you know this book is not divine. For instance, the Quran writes about a meeting between Haman and Pharaoh. And everybody knows that there was almost 1,000 years apart between Pharaoh and between Megillat Esther in Persia. But the one that wrote the Quran, he wasn't an expert in the chronological order of the history. And he decided to fake a meeting between Haman and Pharaoh. Maybe they met somewhere else, but it wasn't on this planet, if you know what I mean. Right? So here you go, human errors in a level of little kids. Little kids make mistakes like this on the dates. And also, according to the Quran, who is the uncle who is the uncle of JC? JC, the most important figure in Christianity. Who is his uncle according to the Quran? Moshe Rabbeinu. Very good. According to the Quran, Miriam, the mother of JC, what the Christians call Mary or Maria, she is the mother of JC and she is the sister of Moshe and Aaron. They confuse between 2 different Miriams. The Miriam that lived 3,400 years ago to the Miriam that lived 2,000 years ago. According to the Quran, is the same one woman. And they describe the same story, that she came with a baby, and they told her, how come you have a baby, you're not married? And they write, Mariam bat Amran. This is a second human error, but there's many other ones. But this is just an example how you know this book cannot be from God, no matter what you claim. God doesn't make such human errors. We wouldn't make. And this is already Christianity. It says that Jacob went to Egypt with 75 people. But in the Torah that Christians admit that the Jews received in a public event, everybody knows it's written that Jacob went to Egypt with 70 people. And what happened to God? He forgot. He doesn't remember how many people were the members of the family of Jacob. So here you go, a contradiction between part 1 and part 2 that they claim that was received from the same origin, same God. If they come and say, we have a different God, that's a different story. Okay, contradiction between the gods. But since the Christians admit that it's the same God, and it's the same God that gave the Jews the Torah in Mount Sinai, they never tried to deny it. They're 100% backing up the story of the Torah, and they call it the Old Testament and the New Testament. Based on that, all the information that appear in the New Testament has to match 100% to the story of the Torah. Once it contradicts the Torah, then you know it's not from God. So here you go. This is how quick you can find out if a religion is really from the creator of the world or not. But there is another way. There's one more way. What's the other way? The other way is that when a religion begins, how does it begin? I'll give you an example. If I come today now, and I showed up, and most of you sees me now for the first time, and I came and I say, ladies and gentlemen, I just came from the mountain, and God gave me a book. I am the new prophet of the world. All of you have to listen to me. This is the book I got. You must listen to my instructions. Right away you would say, this guy really need mental institution. We'll help you out. We're sorry for your sin. You know, what is this? No one would believe me, right? But what happens if I come with 1,000 witnesses? They keep coming. Oh, you're the one. They bow down to me. They kiss my hand. Wow, we just saw what happened to you, that God spoke to you. That's already a different story. What happens if I come with 1,000,000 witnesses? That's even stronger. What happens if I come with 5 million witnesses? Obviously, the more witnesses. But what happens if the witnesses that's supposed to receive now the book from me as a prophet, they are actually mentioned in my book, everything that happened to them in the last year? There's no way to fake such a thing. Let me clarify. If I came to you today and I try to fool you because I want to be a leader, I want to be a leader. So I want all of you to follow me. How do I convince millions of people, the whole nation, to turn to religious people? Right now they're all free, they don't have rules, they just came out of slavery or whatever the case was. Or forget about slavery. Anywhere in the history, a person come to a group of people, and I want all of you to begin to follow my religion. Assuming I do not do it like Muhammad with a sword, that if you don't listen to me, I chop your head off. If I come in a pleasant way, and I come and I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, I want all of you to follow my book, I'm the prophet. Now, would I be able to convince you on 100 miracles that happened to you in the last 12 months if none of them really happened? Would I be able to come and tell you that you walk from prison out and the ocean split and you went through and the army that was chasing you drowned and bread is falling from heaven and you heard the voice of God speaking to me and you actually heard me speaking and God is answering me? Can I convince the whole nation that something like this happened to them when none of it really happened? Can I convince them that when they lived in Egypt, all the water one day turned into red and they all became blood and there's billions of frogs and all kinds of other things? Can I convince a group of millions of people that this is really what happened to them? Why would I make myself look like a fool? It's a lot easier to say, 70 years ago, your grandparents, they got a book from someone, and now we just found it. We better follow the way of our grandparents, because something went wrong. It's a lot easier to convince, because you cannot know if I'm telling the truth. There's no way to prove. But if I come and I actually write about you in my book, each one of you heard me speaking to God. It's enough that one of you would raise his hand and say, I'm very sorry. I'm standing here all day. I did not hear one word from God. What are you talking here about? It says that all of us heard the voice of God. All of us, right? In that case, I did not hear. So it's a lie in a book. It cannot be from God. Because God say, all of us heard his voice. And I did not hear. And he didn't hear. And he didn't hear. And she didn't hear. So here you go. We already have 10 people that didn't hear the voice of God. You're trying to fool us? Leave us alone. Especially when no one is interested to become religious. Ask 100 people on the street that they are totally secular. Come, sir, we want you to become Shomer Shabbat. Would you agree to become Shomer Shabbos? Every morning you get up at 6, you come to shul, you pray, you put tefillin. From now on you're not allowed to eat your shrimps anymore. You have to give up the seafood and you have to give up the pork. And you cannot eat cheeseburger anymore. And you cannot work on the Sabbath. You have to close your business even though you make $10,000 cash in a register. Excuse me. Leave before I call 911. Nobody wants to become religious. How millions of people agree all of a sudden to become servants of God and to follow His book? The human nature is nobody wants to become religious. Unless if it's an easy religion. There's nothing really to do. There's not that many commandments, no obligation. You don't have to give 10% of your net income. You don't have to close your businesses for 1 day a week. You don't have to dress modest 100%. You don't have restriction on 90% of the food in the world that you're not allowed to eat. You don't have all that. Then it's very easy, no problem. What do we have to do? Hallelujah, a little bit with the piano and sing and do, a few things, no problem. Why not? It's nice, tradition. The human logic, people are afraid of religion. Why they're afraid of religion? Because in their mind, religion is handcuffs. It's going to limit my lifestyle. It's going to make me miserable. It's going to make me unable to enjoy life. And when in reality, it's totally the opposite. Why? Because the religion teaches a person to live in disciplines. That means you are the master of your desires. And that's no school in a history can teach except the Torah. There's no such place that they can take a person and turn him, he is naturally full of ego, full of pride, very lazy, very stingy, very angry, very selfish, full of lies, hypocrisy, and many other problems. And within a year, after he begins to learn, he is now humble, and he's more generous, and he's only saying the truth, and he has times, everything is according to a nice schedule, and he controls his desire, and many things that he wants to do, he does not do. It's a whole different product. That's the only way to change is with the instruction of the Creator, because the Creator gave you this test. Where does it say it in the Torah? I'm testing you to see what's in your heart. Are you going to follow my mitzvot or not? Mitzvot means commandments. Are you going to follow my commandments or not? And another place it says, I'm strict with you. I'm sometimes even torturing you, laman anotcha, to see what's in your heart. Do you love me or not? Are you faithful to me or not? Why do I give you this test? Because I will reward you in your end. La tifcha b'acharitecha. I will reward you when the time comes. You're not working for free. You're keeping the Sabbath, you'll get a reward. You eat kosher, you get a reward. You put tefillin every day, you get a reward. You don't steal, you'll get a reward. You don't make all kinds of intimacy, scenes, all kinds of forbidden relationship. You control yourself, you give up physical desire for the truth. I will reward you for that. You're not doing me a favor. The Torah was given to you and to your children after you for your own benefit. I am perfect with you, I'm perfect without you. I'm perfect before I created the world. Before I created you, I was here alone and I was perfect, and I will be perfect after you. Therefore, religion, Judaism, is not worshipping a God, like some people think. It's not a worship to a God or to an idol. It's a way of life. With or without following the instruction, God is the same perfect God. He is controlling the world. He's controlling trillions and trillions of transactions every second. Everything is connected with each other. One transaction, if he was losing control on one transaction, this entire world will go into chaos and destruction. That's called the butterfly effect. If the butterfly moves here in New York, it affects the other side of the world few months later. Nobody sees the effect because it's a chain reaction. Same thing when you bounce a check to your landlord, you don't see the effect. You only know that your landlord will call you now 3 times a day for the next week until you're going to get the money that you're waiting for. Right? But you don't know that your landlord had money, he was counting on your money, and he had himself a bill to pay, and now he didn't pay, and the mafia came to him, and they kidnapped his son, and something went wrong and the son died, and as results of that his wife killed herself, and as results of that her parents went into depression, and one of the parents was an important person in the government, and it's because he went into depression he neglected his job, and somehow an atomic bomb was shot from China into Taiwan. And you don't see that it's all because you bounce a check here in Manhattan. You don't see the connection, but everything keeps traveling. Everything in life keeps traveling. Sometimes the Jews tell me in my lecture when I speak about Shabbat, the Sabbath, what does God care if I light a cigarette? Do you really think that this perfect, huge God that made such all these galaxies and controlled this world, I am the little Jew, I decide to light a cigarette on Shabbat, is that what you think that the God care about? He doesn't have anything else to worry about? If I turn the light on, or if I saw my shirt, or if I wrote a telephone number on a piece of paper, this is what he cares so much about? First of all, the question is pretty good. Why? Because it doesn't look logical that the divine power, such as perfect power like this God, the creator of the world, really would be bothered with such things. But on the other hand, he's bothered with things that are even smaller than that. There's so many tiny transactions in the world, and he's in charge of everything. Not only that, 2 Russian people are watching the nuclear facility in Moscow. And they play chess, and they drink l'chaim, some vodka. You know, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol nהיה b'dvaro. So they drink a little bit l'chaim. After a bottle or two, they're now in a good mood. So one of them say to his friend, "What happened here? Even this cannot be." So I have to hold it. So one of them, it's okay. No, nothing spilled. He did? Huh? Yeah? I don't see. Oh, yeah. Okay. The butterfly effect. You see, now he got up, and the napkin moved from here, and the napkin company just made another 3 cents. It's the butterfly effect. So, Baruch Hashem. So now... That's a good example. Yeah. And someone will have to do scrubbing tomorrow. All right, so now the 2 Russians, after they drank a little bit, and they're watching the nuclear facility, and they told them, no matter what happened, nobody is allowed to turn this switch on. If somebody attack, right away you press a button, some kind of electric will happen, will electrocute the people, it will protect this shelter. You're not allowed to touch this switch. So now both of them are drunk, and one of them said to his friend, "Hey, Boris, what would you give me if I'll turn the switch on?" So Vladimir said to him, "Are you crazy? We're supposed to guard it." And he said, "Come on, how much would you give me? You give me 300 ruble?" He said, "Yeah, go ahead." He gave him 300 ruble. He turned it on, and he said, "See, nothing happened. They're liars, these guys. These Putin make up stories all the time. Look, do you see anything happen? Why they put us here for months? We are bored all day regarding this switch." Then after an hour, sirens are coming everywhere. What happened? 50 million people just died. Building collapse. Somewhere in China. There's a disaster. But in Russia, I didn't see anything. What happened when I light a cigarette on Shabbat? Nothing has happened. But the Torah said, don't be a fool. This world is the lowest level. There are many different worlds. They're all spiritual. Every transaction that a human being does against God make an impact in a spiritual world more than you can imagine. And therefore a person is responsible for the consequences. What do you think that God cares if you light fire or not? He made a system in this universe. What's the system? A place of a test. I'll give you an example. If they make a college, what's the purpose of the college? To prepare people to become doctors, lawyer, engineer, architects, etc. Right. Now, the way to prepare people for the job is to give them tests. After you teach them X amount of knowledge, then you test them to see if they really know what they're doing. You cannot let them become doctors before you test that they really know what they need to know. So when God put us in this world, And he said that we have a test. Life is a test. How do you test a human being? You have to create a system. What was the system that he created? The Torah is teaching us. I'm taking a divine soul that has a spark of me. I am the God. I'm taking a spark of myself which is eternal. It will never die. It can never be modified. It can never change. It doesn't ever get weaker or stronger. It's a spark. It's a nitzotz in Hebrew. Nitzotz Eloki. Chelek Eloha Mimal. A divine part from the actual creator. And I put it inside the soul that I created. I merged them together and I put it into Adam's body. Adam and his wife Eve. I put it in his body. Where does it say it? Vayitzer, in the first chapter of the Torah in Genesis. Vayitzer Hashem Elokim et ha'adam afar min ha'adama. And God created Adam, sand from the ground. Vayipach be'apav nishmat chayim. And he blew into his nostrils a living soul. Vayi Adam lenefesh chaya. And Adam became a living creature, meaning before the soul entered, it was a dead, like sand doll. You know, in the beach, how they make it, it cannot move, it cannot talk. Once the soul penetrates into the body, where is the soul? In the brain. The soul, the place of a soul is in the brain. The soul, if you open up the brain and look for the soul with magnifying glass, you're not going to find it anywhere. It's nothing physical that you can see or measure or see color or see a shape. The soul, it's a divine spiritual spirit. It's a spirit, the same thing spirits you cannot see. But your dogs and cats can see. How many times if you have a dog, you know what I'm talking about, you sit one night alone in a house, and you read a book or whatever, it's totally quiet, middle of winter, snowstorm outside. All of a sudden the dog is looking up, he's getting very scared, he runs to the corner, he begins to cry, or the cat jumps and looks up like this, and you look around, you're thinking maybe there's a mosquito here or something, and some kind of a fly, you don't know what's going on. The answer is the frequency of the lens of the eyes of the animals work differently than the eyes of people. What God does not want people to see that exist around them in space, that's why He programmed their eye in such a way that they won't be able to see angels or demons or all kinds of things that exist in nature, in space. But the animals can see, because the animals don't have a free choice. It's not going to affect them to become better or not. But people are moved based on choices, and the choices that a person makes is also based on education and knowledge. For instance, if a person is totally ignorant, he doesn't know what the Torah is, he doesn't know who God is, he doesn't know what the next world is, he doesn't know what it means Gan Eden and Gehenom, what we say in English, heaven or hell, he doesn't know what a reward and punishment means, he doesn't have it in his mind. All he knows in his life, to make money, to be healthy, to get married, to have children, to be happy, to have vacations every week and finish. That's all he knows in his life, or to follow sport. Most of the people in the world, that's all they care about. They don't sit and analyze life. My Creator gave me a soul. I'm different than the animals. There are 2 million different species in nature. What is the difference between me and all these animals? They're stronger than me. They fly higher. They have abilities that I will never have. There's only one thing that makes me unique. What is it? My spirituality. For instance, if a lion attacks a sheep and ripped him apart, nobody holds this lion as a cruel murderer. Everybody understands that's nature. If he attacks tomorrow a zebra, same thing. Worst comes to worst, you lock him in a cage because he's danger to us. But no one will say to him, hey, no, you monster, you Nazi. Shame on you. Why are you murdering people with such brutality? Why? Nobody has anything against them. Why? Because everybody understands. Animals, they live based on instinct. They do not choose. For instance, if you come to take pictures in the safari in Africa, and the lion is about to attack the zebra, and you're taking pictures of the zebra, you cannot say to the lion, excuse me, Mr. Lion, can you wait 3 minutes until we finish the shooting? We take some pictures here. Wait 3 minutes before you eat. Can you wait? There's any way to convince the lion to wait a second? Once he's hungry, he attacks. There's no way to stop him from the attack. No matter what you do, you cannot stop him. The only way to stop him is to try to kill him or chase him with some weapon or something. Then he's getting scared and he runs. That's also an instinct. But a person is on the way to kill someone. You can give him a call and talk to his understanding and tell him, listen, it's not good. You're going to get punished for it. It's not the right way. You're going to regret what you did. It's not moral. How do you want to do such thing? You cannot behave like an animal. Eventually there's a chance that he will make the right choice. Meaning he has the evil inclination, but he has the good inclination as well. People can choose what to do. That's why the Torah say, I'm giving you today the life and the good, the bad and the death, and you should choose the life. You should choose the good. Meaning you can choose the bad. What happens if a person chooses the bad? There's always consequences. Eventually the light is in the end, you come to the end of the road, and then sometimes if you do the right thing, you finally make your reward. Unless, if you choose the wrong way, you ended up in a very bitter place. Why? That's how life is. It comes when stealing, it comes when using drugs, it comes when committing and all kinds of things. Usually when it comes to the end, the person pays the price. So therefore, we are responsible for our choices. But how are we going to make the right choices if we are not educated? If we never read the book of God, we don't know what he wants from us. There's any chance to be righteous before you know what the purpose of life is? Does a person has a chance to do the right thing if you ask him on the street, Mr. X, can you tell me what's the purpose of life? He's going to give you the regular usual nonsense. To make money, to be successful, to be educated in college, to be the best athlete, to get married, to be handsome, to be pretty, to be skinny, to have children. All the answers that a person may give applies to animals. Animals also have male and female. They also have children. They also care about them. They also like to eat good food. They also want to be intimate. They also like to drink, to swim, to jump on the trees. Whatever people like to do, the animals also like to do. The animals also wants to be healthy. The animal also wants to live comfortable. Everybody understands. Whatever we want to be, the animals they have for free. They don't have to work 30 years to buy a house and to pay the mortgage. They don't have 4 hours a day in traffic here in New York or in LA. They don't have it. So what makes us better than them? If the purpose of the creation was to enjoy this world, this physical world, it would be a lot better than to be an eagle. Why do we need to be a human being? Eagle is traveling all day for free. Wonderful life. Flying non-stop, first class. Everywhere. He sees the most beautiful places. He's hungry, attack something, eat, enjoy the flavor, enjoy life. Beautiful life. Give me one reason why it's better to be a person than not a dog. Do you know that the cat of Michael Jackson inherited $20 million? How many of us will never make $20 million in 70 years of work? And this cat got $20 million, masseuse, all kinds of condition, an amusement park, wheels, all kinds of things. Beautiful life. You think the dogs on the street, in Israel you have a lot of cats on the street. Over here you find squirrels. Same idea. What's the cats in Israel? There's a lot of cats in the streets. Public cats, they're not owned by anyone. Sometimes they eat so much from the garbage, they look like lions, or tigers. So what's the story with this cat? Give me one reason why their life is not as good as us. They eat as much as they want. They come to the garbage. They have 15 different menus for free. Cheese, milk, meat, leaves, pizza, Chinese, whatever you want. They don't know where to start. Now you may come and say, wait a minute, but they eat leftovers. Now, I cannot eat leftover even when I'm very hungry. I'm going to take leftover from the garbage and eat? What kind of life is this? You're right, because you are an intelligent, divine creature. You understand what the difference between leftover and not, but the dog and the cat does not understand. If you buy him in Fifth Avenue $100 dish, and you pick it up from the garbage of that restaurant and put it, which one of the two he will choose? Randomly. Sometimes this, sometimes that. He doesn't see the difference. He doesn't see that the steak here is complete, and over here there's 2 bites. The cat and the dog doesn't understand the difference. Therefore, their life is paradise. Life is great. No sicknesses, no doctors, no vaccines, no cancer, none of these things that we have. Every other person today in the world has some kind of a serious sickness today. Not to talk about Prozac and depression and sleeping pills and all the rest of the problem. Right? Bottom line, there's not one answer why it's better to be a person than an animal. There's only one answer, what God said. The difference between you and the animals is the divine, living, eternal soul, which is going to be judged eventually in front of the King of all kings, the God. So everybody asks, what kind of advantage is to be judged? Do you know anyone who likes to go to court? People cannot sleep a week before. Just, wow, what's going to be now? Nervous, his hair getting white. Is panic attack, anxiety attack, calling the rabbi every 20 minutes, give me a blessing, I don't know what's going to be. Right? People don't like to go to court to be judged. So why the Torah say that to be judged after we die, it's an advantage that we have from the animals, that animals don't get judged. But we are getting judged for what we did right or wrong. Why it's an advantage? The answer is, who told you to be bad? In this world, when you get judged, you can only get a punishment or you can get away to stay what you are. The court doesn't give you millions of dollars reward for finding you not guilty. When they find you guilty, they give you a punishment. If they find you not guilty, it's adios. Go, you're free. They don't come, the judge, and say, you know what? You just proved that you're innocent. Please write him a check $3 million for the aggravation we caused him. But when you judge by God, it's two sides to the coin. You have to be responsible for all the bad you did. You murder, you rape, you stole, you did a lot of bad things. But on the other hand, if you be good, you get an eternal, endless reward. The Torah looks at the positive. The reward is tremendous. The reward is tremendous. Be good, learn my book, follow my instructions, and you're going to get what I promise. I'm not a liar. I'm not a politician. You know, one politician, he died, and he came in front of God. He came in front of God into the tribe. And God said to him, listen, I'm not happy for the way you lived. I'm not happy at all. But on the other hand, 5 million people vote for you, for Congress. So I cannot ignore that 5 million people are actually voting for you. Obviously, you have a lot of fans. So I really don't know what to do with you. I'm going to give you a special visa. The angel is going to show you hell, and they're going to show you heaven. And which one of the two you like, you go. The politicians say, fair deal, God. I appreciate it very much. You're a great judge. Thank you. The angel is taking him. Por favor, señor, come here. He takes him now to hell. He said, this is the gate of hell. So he's shaking like this. He comes inside. He sees guitar, rock and roll player, people on a jet ski, dancers, lots of exotic food, fashion shows. What's going on here? So this is hell? Psh, I sign here forever. He said, you sure that's all? There's no other place? He said, no, that's what you see. Lots of people smiling, cocktail parties. He said, okay, but thank God. Nothing to worry about. Okay, can you show me heaven? Takes him to heaven, see a bunch of rabbis, beard, learning. So what Rashi say? No, it cannot be. Look, over here he says something else. Look, the Gaon of Vilna says something else. The Ramban say, we don't understand. No, wait, listen. What? I'm allergic to this place. Take me out of here. Quick. You sure? Say yes. Okay, sign here that you chose the other place. Sign here, sign here, sign here. 50 papers, sign here. Finally, he signed all the papers. They take him to the gate. They open up the gate. He comes inside. Psh, desert. Hot. People are depressed, walking like this. Wait a minute, what's this? He said, that's what you signed. You wanted this. He said, no, but where is the jet ski? Where is the lake? Where is the guitar player? So there was before the election. That's what you get. What do you really think? For the election, they promised paradise. After, God will have mercy. So now, let's make a conclusion of what we say, because we have another lecture in Hebrew, right, following in 15 minutes. But the idea is like this. Judaism can be proven scientifically. Can be proven scientifically. If you go on my website, divineinformation.com, not divine inspiration, divineinformation.com. First of all, I brought you CDs. You can take them on your way out. Free CDs. Please take them, listen to them, watch them. There's few good films that had hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube, each one of them, or even more than 1 million. Watch them. They're very powerful, and you will see right away scientifically that whatever we say is 100% legit. However, if you go on my website, you have more than 2,000 lectures there. You start today, you finish age 700. But you better start. But one thing I do promise you, if you watch my film Torah and Science, it will be the shock of your life. You will not believe how is it possible that it's so easy to prove that the Torah is the only book of God. It's so easy to prove that a person can never write such a book. Same thing, the oral Torah, what we call the Talmud, the Gemara. Same thing. The foundation of the Talmud, the main information over there, it's all divine that Moses received in Mount Sinai 3,300 years ago. He went together. In the time that he was in a mountain, after the event took place and God said the first 2 commandments and the entire Jewish nation heard the voice of God, they couldn't take the pain anymore. They said, please, please, Moses, you go up and speak to the God because we cannot hear his voice anymore. We get very scared. So he said, don't have to fear. God didn't come to hurt you. He came to test you. And anyway, they still refused to hear his voice, and he had to go up to the mountain. Technically, from what it seems, that if the nation would not get too scared, he would give them the whole Torah without going up to the mountain. And eventually he went up to the mountain, and his soul went up to heaven, and his body was on a mountain for 40 days, didn't eat. Obviously, it's like what we call today clinical death, that the soul comes out of the body, and then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, the person comes back to life. And after that, he brought down the Torah, a part of the Torah, and the 10 Commandments, and all the oral laws. Now, when you review my film, Torah and Science, you will be amazed, because over there you see the number of the stars, the renewal of the moon to 6 digits after the decimal points, even though there was no calculator, no computer to measure all the movements of the galaxy, the sun and moon, earth system, and that NASA discovered in our day. Everything was already written in the Talmud. You have codes inside the Torah, equal mathematical codes that predicted all the main events in our days. Predicted the Holocaust, predicted the Gulf War, predicted the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin, predicted AIDS. A lot of things that happen in our days, it's already hidden in the text of the Torah in equal mathematical minimal skip. Meaning, I give you one example. In the first chapter of the Torah speaks about God putting Adam in a Garden of Eden. And lots of trees over there. And he said to him, I want you to be in charge of the garden. In this chapter that speaks about the Garden of Eden, you have more than 40 words that connects to fruits and vegetables hidden in equal mathematical skip in one page. One page that speaks about the garden, you have wheat, barley, pomegranate, almonds. All the words that connects to fruits and vegetables are hidden in equal mathematical skip in one page, without changing the actual text of the story. That story still describes the creation of the world, how the world started. As the Torah describes what took place in the history, inside you have thousands of other information hidden in equal mathematical skip. I'll give you one example. One part in the Torah, in Parashat Vayelech, it says that God said to Moses, one day after you die, this nation will be stiff-necked and stubborn, and they would leave me, they leave my religion, they will break the covenant that I made with them here in Mount Sinai, they will follow fake religions, and at that time, I will close my eyes, I will hide my face, I will leave them in the hand of the Gentiles, and the rest is already known. What described over there is 100% a horrible tragedy that will happen to the Jewish nation. In this page, you have the word the Holocaust hidden in equal mathematical skip. Hey, 50 letters Shin, 50 letters Vav, 50 letters Aleph, 50 letter Hey. The Holocaust in equal mathematical skip in half a page in the Torah that describe a Holocaust. AIDS. Usually AIDS goes to gays more than regular people. It's attacked them, they die, they are the number one in the list that dying from this disease. Actually, the Torah speaks about the sin of homosexuality in the chapter of Noach with Sodom and Gomorrah in Israel in a secular court that the judges, some of them don't even believe in God. When they want to convict a person, they say, Ma'aseh Sodom, an act of Sodom. Some of them don't even know what they say, but they read in the law, we're judging you to 20 years in prison for act of Sodom in little children or women or whatever it was. What does it mean, act of Sodom? Homosexuality. Where in the entire Torah I describe it? In the chapter of Sodom and Gomorrah. Right there, the word AIDS is hidden in equal mathematical skip. Nowhere else. The codes are always connected to the actual subject of the chapter. I give you one more example. 3 times in the Torah warned the Jews not to follow fake religions. I gave you the Torah in a public event, millions of you saw it. All the other 80,000 religions and cults that started after Judaism, include Christianity and Islam, all started with a story of one person without one witness that saw what happened. One day Buddha came 2,400 years ago, he claimed he saw the light, enlightenment. How many people witnessed it? None. One day Mary came, she said she had a dream. Don't suspect me, my husband, that I cheated on you. I'm a virgin. God came to me in a dream, he made me pregnant, and the boy will be holy, and the rest of the story. How many people witnessed her dream? No one. Right? The way it started with 50% doubt. One day Muhammad showed up from the desert with the Quran. The angel Gabriel gave me the book, I'm a prophet. How many people saw it? Not even one. All the other 80,000 religions and cults is always a story of one individual that starts immediately with 50% doubt. And then when you begin to read the books, then you find a lot of human errors. The doubt goes to 99%, and sometimes it's 100%. You know that God never gave this book. But the Torah is the only document that was given in a public event in front of millions of witnesses. That's why none of the religions that came after tried to deny it. It would be a lot easier for the Christians to come one day and say, you know what? Whatever you, the Jews, telling the world for 1,300 years, you're so proud of your religion, and everywhere in the world you're spreading, you're making synagogues, you're learning Torah. It's all baloney. Nonsense. It never happened. It's all a lie. For the first time in history, now God gave his religion to us. We are the chosen people, not you. You're all liars. Why they didn't do it? It's like trying to deny that there was September 11. Anyone would take it serious? Or to try to deny that there was Napoleon. The whole world is speaking about it. Millions of people witness it. It goes in books, everywhere. You cannot deny something the whole world is witnessed. You cannot deny that the Jews received the Torah in a public event and they kept it everywhere they lived. So the Torah said to the Jews, listen carefully, we're almost done. The Torah said to the Jews, I will spread you in all over the world because you did not follow my instructions and my laws with happiness and good heart. As results of that, only few of you will survive, and the few that will survive, we should have been like the Chinese people. We started in the same generation after the flood of Noah 4,200 years ago. After the flood, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Yefet. The Jews came from Sem, anti-Semite, someone that hates Jews because the Jews came from Shem, Sem in English. The Chinese came from Ham, meaning Shem was the uncle of the Chinese. Same generation, right after the flood. The Chinese are close to 1.5 billion people with restriction on birth. The Jews, 13.2 million all over the world without restriction on birth. Technically, the Jews should have been 3 to 4 billion people. How many are they? 13.2 million. 2 reasons. 1, pogrom and anti-Semitism caused it. 2, intermarriage. Betraying the covenant with God and not following his instruction that the Jews have no permission to mix with any other nation. They didn't care. They married whoever they wanted, and their children became non-Jews and disappeared. Only 13.2 million Jews left in the world. The Torah already predicted it. The Torah say, you are less than all the nation. There's a verse in the Torah 3,300 years ago. Who would take such a risk? To write, you will be less than all the nation. I will spread you in all the countries. And where you live, you will never have rest from the Gentiles. They will constantly torture you and you live under fear. And right there it says, and over there you're going to follow fake gods. The God of the wood and the God of the stone. Which God of the wood, which God of the stone? The God of the wood is what the Christians say, knock on wood, the Christian, the cross, the wood cross. And the God of the stone is what the Muslims follow in Mecca. They have a big rock over there. They all go there every Ramadan. Millions of Muslims go there.
The Kaaba.
The Kaaba. And over there, so it's the God of Islam, what they call the religion of Islam and the religion of Christianity. The Torah already predicted it, and the Torah warned the Jews. Now you may come and tell me, wait a minute, Rabbi, this is your interpretation to the verse. How do you know that God really meant Christianity and Islam? Just because he said wood, the religion of the wood and the religion of the rock, doesn't mean 100% that he meant Christianity and Islam. And you have a very good point. Is it a scientific proof? Not exactly. But what I'm about to say is 1,000,000% scientific proof. Inside this verse that's speaking about fake religions, the religion of the wood and the religion of the rock, inside that text you have 2 words hidden in equal mathematical skip. 1, Jesus. 2, Mecca. No, you tell me if you can deny such a thing. Yud, Shin, Vav equals skip in the verse. Mem, Chaf, He equals skip. Same equals skip. 49 letters. 49, 49, 49. 49, 49. Both of them in one verse that speaks about fake religion. 1,300 years before JC was born. 2,000 years before Muhammad came. And there's no doubt. But that's only 1 or 2 or 5 of proofs that I gave you. If you watch my Torah and Science, you'll get the shock of your life. So where did I live until now? In what planet was I living? I don't know the purpose of life. I don't know I have a Father in heaven who cares about me. The Torah says about the Jews, you are my children. I chose you from all the nation to be my children. I do not give you permission to behave and to imitate the rest of the world. You don't have permission to get married to them. You don't have permission to eat their food. You don't have permission to get dressed like them. You don't have permission to call your children in their names. You are my children. You represent me. You have to observe the 7th day, the Sabbath, because I made the world in 6 days, and the 7th day I rested. You don't have permission just to be another human being. The Gentiles, if they keep the 7 laws of Noah, they are righteous Gentiles. They're righteous Gentile. That's probably the time to finish. Shh.
Someone has my dog or smack. I can't get the car in.
So now that the Torah said the Gentiles, if they keep the 7 laws of Noah, they are considered righteous Gentile. No discrimination. You have 7 laws to keep. If you keep the 7 laws, you go to heaven of Gentiles. So Gentiles also have free will, reward and punishment in a lower level. Lower mission, lower reward. And also the Jews that have a lot more to do, if they follow the instruction, they have higher heaven. But the question is, what's better to be? A righteous Gentile or a wicked Jew? The answer, a righteous Gentile is better to be. At least he's not a criminal against God. How does a Gentile become righteous? You should not kill. You should not steal. They're not allowed to steal even a penny. Nothing. Not to steal, not to use without permission. It's very difficult. Not all your life, not to use without permission, not to take a little bit change here and there. You have to be exactly honest. So you should not kill. You should not steal. You believe in one God. Do not follow any idol. You should not eat any animal before they are totally dead, because there's some kind of food that they boil them while they're still alive. In China, in some other places, it's still moving in a plate. You're not allowed. It's against the laws of the Gentile. They have to make themselves a system of police and court and obey the rules, which they do. And not allowed to have sex crimes with their relatives in a family, and also no homosexuality and no relationship with animals. If a Gentile keep this, he loves God, there's one God, he does not worship any idol. Christianity, for instance, it's idol worshipping religion, because God says in the 10 Commandments, you should not have any other God but me. No God, no son of God, no image of God, no nothing. Just me. No one else, no partners. Christianity divided it to 3 or to 2, depend what kind of Christians you're talking about. Right away they break the 7 laws of Noah, and they're all considered idol worshippers. Islam, however, it's not idol worshipping. They believe in one God. They never say Muhammad is the son of God. They just believe he's a prophet. But they believe in one God. So Muslims don't have the problem of idol worshipping, but they have other problems, because some of them support murder. And some of them do murder. Either you murder with your own hands, or you give money to a terror organization, or you're happy when the terrorists kill women and children. It puts you in a position that you break the 7 laws of Noah. So technically, if Ahmed is a good Arab, he is not happy to see anybody dies. Not American, not Jews, not Europeans, not anyone. He doesn't want people to get killed. He believes in one God. He doesn't commit sex crimes. He doesn't eat animals before they're dead. And he obeys the police and the court. He does not worship any idol. And doesn't steal. He goes to heaven.
So, one thing, somebody has silver Corolla blocking a driveway on Orange Avenue. Silver Corolla 90. M90.
So,
Toyota Corolla, anybody in silver blocking a driveway?
M19.
all right. Whoever heard about the Corolla, please, now it's the time. So, Mamash, the last thing to say today. Time ran out, and we have to stop now. But one thing I do want you to do, since it's only a 1-hour lecture, it's not even a taste. Judaism is wider than the ocean. In Judaism, you never find human errors. The Torah, nobody ever find human errors. Judaism is full of prophecy. The Torah and the prophets, it's plenty of prophecies. You will not find one prophecy, not in the New Testament and not in the Quran, not even one prophecy. In Judaism, every chapter have prophecies to 1,000 years, 2,000 years, etc. All you have to do is to watch my film, Torah and Science. Also, I brought you here a DVD, The Purpose of Life. It's made in a very high quality. And also you have over there an audio CD, The Path to the Just, which is a fantastic series, changed the life of many thousand, include non-Jews. After they heard it, their life was never the same. In the sense, you have the CDs right there, and then you have the debate that I had with a Christian professor. You can see that debate. It made many thousands of religious Christians drop Christianity immediately, and many of them started to convert to Judaism. Christians don't have an obligation to be Jews. we are not missionaries. We're not running after people, forcing them and begging them to turn into Judaism. No. Better for them to stay Gentiles. It's a lot easier. All they have to do is to follow the instruction that God said to Noah before Judaism started in Mount Sinai. Those laws used to apply to the Hebrews before we turned into Jews in Mount Sinai. So there were 900 years grace period between the flood until the Jews received the Torah, that the whole universe had to keep 7 laws. Those 7 laws still apply to every non-Jew today. Doesn't matter, Chinese, African, Arab, doesn't matter. All Gentiles have to keep the 7 laws. Sometimes a Gentile doesn't agree to stay only with 7 laws. I have hundreds of them. They say, help me to become a Jew. It's not easy. They need to learn a lot. Eventually, some of them are extremely great. They turn into Jews, they convert to Judaism, and now they're 100% Jews like everyone else. But do we encourage them to do it? The answer is no. Do we pay money and bribe to people, come be Jews? The opposite. We say, don't come, stay a Gentile. Because we are not begging anyone to take the truth of God. When you have a fake religion, you'll do everything you can to fool people. Mistranslate verses, give them money, help them all kinds of things to come to the church. Or come with a sword. If you don't become Muslim, we'll kill you. You don't have the right to live. The Jews, they say to the Gentiles, you don't have to be Jews to go to heaven. You can stay what you are and you still can go to heaven. You're still a righteous Gentile. You don't need to be one of us. The opposite, why? Because we follow the instruction of God. We are not missionaries. I always tell my student, whenever you see missionary activity, it's a lie. Not once in a history, missionary activity was following the truth. Always a cult, some kind of a cult. Even among Judaism, there's few cults, unfortunately. When you see a group of people coming and begging you to join their cult, whether it's Jews or non-Jews, stay away from them because it's not the truth. The truth doesn't need to beg anyone to join it. It's all over. You want to join, prove that you deserve it. But we're not going to run after you to beg you to become a follower of the truth. Any questions before we finish?
Rabbi?
Yes?
So you didn't really talk about this, but I want to get your opinion because now, like even within Orthodox Judaism, like what I'm hearing in my community a lot, the hot topic is women rabbis. And I just want to get like a general take from you maybe as to why, the Masorah is not going that way. And what, like a lot of people very intellectually coming to these conclusions. Rav Soloveitchik said maybe it was okay, and it's a very hot topic right now. So I just want clarity on
3,300 years since the Jews received the Torah, not once in a history Jews have women rabbis. Never. Why after 3,300 years we want to modify something that from Moses until our generation nobody ever dared to suggest? That's question number 1. Question number 2.
Like Devorah, the prophets.
Right. You're right. There are some exceptions to the rule, like Devorah and some, maybe once or twice again. But the Talmud say that women do not learn Gemara. They don't learn the oral Torah. It was meant for the men only. The obligation to learn Torah is for men only.
Maybe I'm not going to give you a shiur every day to women in the market for the past 25 years.
Who?
There's a frum lady in Brooklyn, New York.
There's frum lady that knows Torah more than actual rabbis. It's not a contradiction. I had a student, Bala Tshuva, from the minute I made her religious, she was addicted to the Gemara. All day she learns Gemara. How can she get married? How can she raise children? Once you go into the Talmud, your life is occupied. You cannot do anything before learning. You see the people that are learning for 16 hours a day, even when they eat, they learn. Some of them say, I don't know how I can sit 10 minutes in the bathroom without learning. It's impossible for me to stop for 10 minutes a day to learn. It takes away your whole soul. So if a woman, which is a higher level in spirituality, naturally, the Torah says, if she gets into it, it's like a drug. She can never leave it. She cannot get married. She cannot raise children. She cannot function as a woman. Therefore, the Torah say women do not learn Torah. They learn the basic. They learn the history. They learn the laws. They don't sit and learn the Talmud. Without learning the Talmud, you cannot be a rabbi. So that's the answer to your question.
Where does the Torah say that?
It's halakha. In the Gemara say you're not allowed to teach women. Not allowed to teach. It's in the Talmud. The Gemara say not allowed to teach girls Talmud, Divrei Torah, oral Torah. You're not allowed to teach women. Not allowed. It's against the halakha to teach them. The Gemara say in Masechet Kiddushin and some other places, you don't teach oral Torah to women. You don't teach. The Gemara brings few girls that were daughters of rabbis. They used to hide under the bed, used to hide behind the wall to be able to learn Torah, because if they wanted to join the shiur, they didn't let them. Not because they're bad. Everyone in a creation has his job. And Hashem divided it that a man has few things and a woman has few things. If a woman wants to do what the man has to do and a man wants to do what the woman has to do, that's the end of this world. And you can see it in some places like San Francisco and others. What happened when everyone wants to do what the other side's supposed to do? That's not, today in this country, they allow gay marriage, they do all kinds of things. I said in one of my speeches, we don't need to be religious to know it's forbidden, regardless of religion, even if there was no book of God. We only have common sense, right? We know somebody made the world, right? We don't know who. Without the Torah, we wouldn't know who God is. We wouldn't know exactly all the things we know about him, right? So if we don't know who God is, because we never got the Torah, right? But common sense we do have, right? If I see this cup that costs 1 cent, with all the lines, and narrow in the bottom, and wide in the top, and exactly round, I can swear in my life and the life of my children that it was made and designed by someone. Who is this someone? I don't know. Mr. Lee, Mr. John, Mr. Mizrachi. I don't really know. But I can swear that someone designed it. How do I know it? Because we see a plan, we see a design. It's not coincidence, right? So now when we look at the world, we knew that the creator of the world, whoever he is, you call him whatever you want, call him a UFO, I don't care, call him out of space creature, whatever you want to call him, it doesn't matter. He made the world, yes. He designed the world, yes. He designed the world that the combination of men and women, it's a perfect match. Doesn't matter now who made it. Forget about religion. There is a male and female, and together when they connect, it's a perfect match. They design one for another. Understand? Therefore, as we are the creation, we know that our creator, that it's a super intelligent power that made this world, did not want men to be with men and women with women. Otherwise, he would not make it so obvious that man goes only together with a woman. That's it, without religion. Now comes the Torah and gives death penalty and horrible suffering for people that commit these crimes. That leaves no doubt. But I say even without Torah, before it turns into a religion issue, it's simple common sense. Simple common sense. Same thing that you don't want your children to eat poison. You don't need the Torah to tell you not to eat poison. You're going to feed them poison, they'll die. That's simple common sense. That's it.
I have a question. If homosexuality goes against both nature created by God,
Yes.
He created homosexuality.
He created it. He also created poison, but doesn't mean we have to eat it. There's a lot of bad things he created, but that's the test of life. You understand? First of all, you have to know one thing. There's one rule in the Torah that it's amazing and most people are not aware of it. When you ask a secular Jew, stop what you're doing. What does he say? I can't. I love it. I can't. So when you come and say to a Jew, I want you to be religious, he asks, what should I do? What do I have to do? You tell him, you have to pray. He looks at the words, I don't mind, I'll pray. What else do I have to do? You have to put mezuzah in your door. Here, $100, give me 2 mezuzot, I'll put in my door. What else? You have to eat only kosher. I like this, I like that. Not the end of the world. There's a lot of kosher restaurants. Okay, I can live with that. Then you come and say to him, you have to keep the Sabbath. You cannot drive a car, you cannot turn television on, none of these things. Oh, no. That's not for me. No. This I don't want. No, please. I don't want. So now people choose what to do or what not to do based on what they like and they hate. So if I like the commandments that you're offering me, I'm willing to do it. If I don't like it, I refuse to do it. So far everything is clear. That's not what God says. God says, after the actions, the hearts will adjust, will follow. Meaning when you force yourself to do something that you hate, and the first time you hate it 100%. When you repeat it the second time, you hate it 99%. On the third time, 95%. On the fourth time, 90%. After 20 times, not only you don't hate it, you begin to like it. You do it another 20 times, it becomes the greatest thing in your life. Why is it? Because this is the way God made it. You force yourself to do something, you get out of what you used to do. You get used to the new thing. Take all the hundreds of thousands Baalei Tshuva, people that became religious. Before they became religious, did they ever dream they'll close their business on Shabbat? That they won't be able to drive? That they will give up their computer or phone or whatever they used to do? Now ask each one of them, go one by one to all the Orthodox Baalei Tshuva. Tell them, do you like the Sabbath or no? I doubt it if you find one that will tell you no. Everybody waits for it all week. But ask them 3 years ago to keep Shabbat. No, only not that. This I'm willing, this, no, it's too much for me. Now, ask them to stop keeping Shabbat. They'll tell you, are you normal? We're waiting for it all week. All week I'm counting from when Shabbat begins. Some of you can justify what I say. So this is to show you, just when a person thinks this I'm unable to do, you force yourself 10, 20, 30 times to do it, you get used to it. And I'll prove it to you. If you take a normal man that love women, was married twice, all his life was with women, and he could not stay anything that connects to gays, could not even hear it. Now they put him 20 years in prison. After he comes out of prison, thousands of times we find out that he became gay. But now they tell him, okay, when you're in jail, you didn't have a choice, so you had to do something. But now you came out, you can go back to being normal like you used to be. He doesn't want. He wants to stay where he is now. How can it be? 20 years ago, before I went to prison, you will kill him, you give him $1 million cash, he wouldn't agree to touch the hand of a man. After the circumstances pushed him to a dirty direction in his life, he got used to his actions. This is the way the world is. You can get used to become a monster, you can get used to become an angel. The question is, what are you going to choose? That's all what life is all about.
But if your relative, young boy, that grew up and you know,
A little bit louder, I cannot hear you.
born this way, what you gonna do?
You're born like that? Okay, so now I have to explain to you what does it mean to be born like that. We are here, we are not here for the first time. We are in reincarnation. The souls transfer from one body to another. How does God decide who to send to heaven, who to send to hell, who to send in reincarnation? How does he decide? He has now Reuven, go to heaven. Shimon, go to Chas v'Shalom hell. Yitzchak, you're going to be reincarnated. How does he decide it? If a person has unsolved mission, meaning in his previous life he did not fix his pride yet, his anger, all the problems that he had in his previous life, but he did fix some of the things, meaning he did some progress, but he still have things that he has to be done. God sends him back in a new body with the same weaknesses. What he fixed already, he doesn't have desire for. What he did not fix, he comes back with the same desire. So, when you find a kid that is born already gay, from a very young age, he play with the girls, he doesn't see connection to it, you can see it's very feminine. That's a sign that in his previous life, at one point in his life, he chose to make sins with men. Because he chose to become a criminal against God in his actions, because it's against the rules of the Torah, when he was tried, when he died in his trial, he did other good things. Maybe he gave charity, maybe he helped people, maybe he had good manners, but one thing he did not fix is this sin. So when he's born again, he comes back to the world with the same desire that he left the world. Same thing as stingy person. When a person dies stingy, he's born stingy. If he dies generous, he's born generous. Let me explain. Take 3 little kids, triplets. They're born in the same minute. All 3 of them, twins. They came out to the world, and you give each one of them a bag of pretzels. You give him a big bag, and second one, third. A, B, and C. You ask from the first boy, give me one. He looks at you, he gives you one. He has hundreds inside. Give me another one, he gives you another one. Give me another one. He begins to, no, enough. Get one more. You take one more, he begins to cry. You come to the second one, you give him a whole bag now. Give me one. No! I just gave you the whole bag, give me one. No! Then you come to the third one, give me one, he gives you one. Give me another one, he gives you another one. Give me another one, he gives you another one. Give me another one, he takes 3 or 4, and he gives you the whole bag. This is every day's phenomena. What happens here? These are 3 kids, each one of them is 2 years old. He never went to school. He hardly speaks 2 words or 3 words. He doesn't know about being stingy or being generous. He doesn't know what life is about. Maybe I have 1,000,000 bags of pretzels to give him. What makes this guy so stingy that even one he doesn't want to share? And the other one is half and half stingy, half generous. And the other one is so generous, he takes 2 and gives you the whole bag. Who educated them that life is difficult, it's very difficult to buy new pretzels? How do they know? Maybe you have pretzels like this, the sand in the ocean. Why they're not willing to give? They'll give me a new one. What is it? This is how they died. The first kid, once in a while, used to give charity, but with a limit, because it bothered him to give. He didn't like to give. But he gave from time to time. That's how he comes back to the world. From where he left it, he has to fix it. The second one, he was the stingiest person on earth. Now, 1 penny he gave for charity. Rabbis came, don't bother me. Poor people came, don't bother me. He never contributed anything. He's tight with his money. His own wife starved. He doesn't want to share. That's how he came back to the world. And the third one already died generous. He worked on himself. He gave and he gave and he gave. And then before he died, he wrote all his wealth to charity. To this, to the yeshiva, to the orphan, to the widows. So when he comes back to the world, he doesn't have resistance. He doesn't have evil inclination to be stingy because he fixed it already. What you fix, you already have a V. You don't have to go through the process again. But if you die violent, you're born as a violent kid. If you die a thief, you are born a thief. That's, you see, you have 2 little kids. One will never touch without permission. One already steal candy from his Rebbe's drawer. The Rebbe leaves candy and he goes outside, he comes, he opens it and steal. But no one in the class did, only him. Everything you see he takes, because he died as a thief. That's why it's hard to judge people equally. Because sometimes you ask yourself, what a low life. Why you always steal this guy? You cannot even take without permission. Even if there's no one here, no camera, no one would ever know. You still cannot enjoy it, to steal. But this guy has a very weak weakness. So if you think that it's so easy for him, like it's easy for you, you are wrong. Because for you it's very easy not to steal. But for him it's extremely difficult. You understand? Same thing women, same things, everything in life. One person is attracted all the time, and the other one, no problem, is happy in his life. You see, people are not the same. The hardest thing for you in life is the first mission that Hashem puts you here in this world for. What's the hardest is your main tikkun, the main purpose. If a person has something, for instance, some women, very difficult for them to be modest, to dress modest, not to show their beauty everywhere, not to walk half naked everywhere. Very difficult for them. You tell the girl, I'll give you $500 cash if you dress modest. A day. She won't agree. Some girls, you tell her, I will charge you $500 a day if you dress modest. She says, you charge me $1 million. I'm still not going to change my clothes. I'm not going to go half naked on the street. I'm a human being. I'm not an animal. I have discipline. I came to the world to show my legs and the rest of my body on the street to every human being. I have a husband. He can see me. Nobody else allowed to see me. You see right away, even by secular people is like this. Sometimes you find secular women, they're not comfortable showing themselves. Sometimes you find religious women, all they think about, where can I cut? From the shirt, from the dress. I make the wig as long, tons of makeup. She finish all the duty free, the perfume on herself when she goes out. You know, even when she goes to the supermarket, 2 hours she sit by the mirror, that amigos in the supermarket, Tony and Vinny, will look at her and say, ooh. You understand? It's all desires. But desires, sometimes you see people, they have desire for food. Try to stop them from eating. I'll kill you. Take the food away from a person that loves food. See what happens. Did you ever see the fat kids? When you try to grab one slice from the 3 that they have on the plate, how they react? Screaming, crying, like it's the end of the world came. Oh, you're such a bad father. You always you don't want me to enjoy it. What do? You try to cut from his eating. You just take one slice away. He's ready to kill himself. He's depressed all week. Some people, they don't care. Food, no food. You tell, can I take one? No problem, take.
It sounds like all those weaknesses are hereditary, from your point of view.
Not hereditary, no. It's not coming from the parents. One parent
I'm not
can...
talking about parents.
From previous life.
Ancestors. Yeah.
Previous life?
Yeah.
No, the word hereditary, it's not correct. Because remember, you are the same person. Call the soul X. Soul X and soul Y. X was in a body called Simon. Now he's in a body called Abraham. Now he's in a body called Joseph. But it's the same X. The body image changed. But the body is nothing. It's a bunch of molecules. The divine soul is always been the same one.
Usually soul is moved in a family.
Soul moves.
That's why we call our children the name of our ancestors.
It doesn't matter the name. The soul came to the world even before you named it.
Yes.
No. So if a person cannot name his kid because he's in jail, someone else name it. The soul is the same soul. You name now the body. You don't name the soul. The soul always was the same soul. Souls don't have name. Bodies have names. Why you need name? To identify people. The soul anyway you don't see. You cannot identify the soul even if you give it a name. When people die and the souls are in space, do you think you can identify them? You can see spirit? You can't see it, but the lens of a camera sometimes, when you take pictures, then you see someone that died in a camera. I have a whole lecture about pictures that people took, and people that died are in the picture. I was in Florida. I spoke about it. By the end of the lecture, the owner of the place showed me an incredible picture. He was in his minivan, and the back of he was with his kid in a minivan, and in the back, when he took selfie, his grandmother, that was about 80 years old, she was in the picture, but so clear that in a million years you won't believe that she wasn't sitting in a car. With the face, with all the wrinkles in her face, the eyes, the pupils. He said to me, you see, she's dead 7 years. And she's in a picture, inside the car. Once he took picture, but he didn't see her in a car when he took the picture. Incredible picture. And there's thousands of people like this, that took pictures and they found spiritual things. Okay, we're done with the English. Do we have any Israelis here? How many?
Rabbi Mizrachi, you should know. You should know about.
It's a strange request. My uncle just got hit by a car, literally 20 minutes ago. His name is Yaakov Ben Shendel. Maybe we take Middle Tail.
All right, Yaakov Ben Shendel. שיר למעלות, אשא עיני להרים, מאין יבוא עזרי, עזרי מעם אדוני עושה שמיים וארץ, אל יתן למות רגליך, אל ינום שומריך. הנה לא ינום ולא ישן שומר ישראל, אדוני שומריך, אדוני צילך על יד ימיניך, יומם השמש לא יככה, וירח בלילה, אדוני ישמורך מכל רע, אדוני ישמור צאתך ובואך מעתה ועד עולם. What is condition?
Right now, vital signs are good, but we don't know what's broken.
רפואה שלמה.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. תזכה למצוות.
I wanted to tell you thank you.
Thank you.
Listening to you for 2 years. I'm converted.
Converted?
I'm going to
Converted. Very good.
all the things that I've heard from you. 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, when I had a question, I would just read and you will come out. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, sure.
אתה בסדר? טוב. תודה רבה, כבוד הרב.
Can I ask you a question? In many cases, I hear when we talk about Torah codes that assassination of rabbin comes over and over again. Do you particularly see any significance in this event besides one Jew killed another? Why is this particular event is told all over again and found in Torah, but nobody talks about, let's say, expulsion of Jews from Gaza, which was like a mamish serious event?
You know, we have to know one thing. Jews cannot kill another Jew, even if the Jew that they kill is wicked, because to kill another Jew you need Sanhedrin. We don't have Sanhedrin today. If everyone would start killing everyone, then you have to kill 80% of the Jews, because they're not Shomer Shabbat. It's going to be a zoo. You cannot do it. Back in the day, there was Sanhedrin. People knew there is Sanhedrin. They were afraid to make sins. If Sanhedrin lived today, no one would do the sins that they do because they know they're subject to that penalty. Because there are no Sanhedrin, you cannot judge people on your own. So therefore, Yigal Amir, even though Yigal Amir wanted to do good for the nation of Israel, to start